All right, welcome back to another Briones breakdown. In this video, we're going to be talking about the offensive lob from the non-volley zone. Stay tuned to the end of this video because we're going to hop on the court to teach you that and show you how it's done. But before that, we're going to hop in to some women's pro doubles, the Kawamotos versus the Briones. You're not going to want to miss it. Now, let's break it down.
Let's go.
All right, so here we are at the Hyundai Masters, and we're going to watch the whole point all the way through. Then we're going to break it down. Nice. Ooh, good two-hander there. Topspin dink. Another little topspin dink. Forcing the short hop. Good reset.
Lob.
That offensive lob. Little defensive lob there. Two of them. Three of them. Sometimes defensive lobs.
Oh my God.
Defense to offense.
Dude, I couldn't even do that if I tried. That's so
nice.
good.
All right, so Jackie with the finish there. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to go back to the beginning and break this entire point down. And we have, who's serving here, Kaden?
Mary Barasha is serving.
In the 006, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so Mary's serving here. Okay, we got a good
Jackie the return.
topspin return here. Okay, I really like that first two-handed attack. We're definitely going to do more videos on the two-handed swinging volley. And one thing I just do want to mention, I want to just kind of highlight where Jade is actually standing here and how aggressive she comes to the middle.
Yeah.
That's really important. As you see the third shot coming from Mary. I'm going to back it up here. Right, her sister is coming in behind her. Right, we talked about this previously, Kaden, that you have to be big in the middle.
Yeah, well, and when you're unwinding a stack, there is that little bit of time that your opponent needs, or your partner needs to get up to the kitchen line. So help them out by being bigger in the middle.
Yeah. So
and Jade does that really well.
Yep. So good attack, great reset here. I really like how Jade creates that space. We talked about that on a lot of videos. There's that topspin dink to the backhand. And another topspin dink. And if you look at where that ball goes, Kaden, I think that's just a really good reset by Mary here. This is actually a tough ball that Jade hits over here.
100%.
She uses that shuffle step over, and it's still outside of her hips. Really tough ball, but she goes, more towards the middle.
Yeah, resets it perfectly.
So, which actually forces the half volley. And forces the first attacking opportunity. So we got Maggie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Maggie, a little backhand roll volley. Okay. And then there's that reset. Anything you see there, Kaden, I want to mention?
I really liked the way Maggie leans in for this ball, right? She notices immediately that Mary's dink caught Jade on the short hop and immediately kind of leans in for that attack and does a really good job of keeping that swing nice and short, compact, and ready for the next ball to come her way, even though I don't think it does.
Yeah. So
right? Look at the finish, right? If you watch her finish, it's nice and short and compact right in front of her face and right back into ready before she even is getting the ball back over the net to them.
Yeah, really good. And then a little counter. And a counter again, and you can see, again, this is when we talk about good defense and reset ability, just, I guess this is basically a textbook example right here, Jackie, right? Being very stable with her feet and balance in her body.
Look how wide her feet are.
Yep.
So good.
Super important. It's a roll dink. And then here's
Offensive
the
lob.
offensive lob. So we're going to actually go back to this. There's the backhand roll. There's a reset here. Okay, a little roll dink. Watch her leaning in. And then here, let's just see. So from this position, now this is a volley offensive lob. Now, this is probably one of my favorite shots, Kaden, to utilize, especially when players are at the net.
100%.
And when you're coming from a low point, it's very hard to read. It's very hard to read.
Yeah, and can I just say one thing? If you go back, right, watch the dink, right? That's her dink.
Yep.
Next shot. Right there. She makes it look exactly like her last shot, which was a dink.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She took that volley dink the first time and then she volleyed it again. But instead, this time she threw up an offensive lob and caught them off guard.
Yeah. And that's why it's really hard to read, especially when you're leaning in. But this is what we're going to talk about towards the end and show you on the court. But the lob pushes the ladies back. And one important thing that you will see pros do is when one partner retreats for the lob, you're typically going to see both.
Yeah.
Both get back there.
Absolutely.
And actually, a good reply to a lob at times is a defensive lob. So, and the reason why, again, if you watch Jade here, I mean, she's kind of running full sprint. This ball is going to be hard to drop. I mean, it's kind of behind her, and her momentum's moving back. So
right, it's all about recovery at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you know?
So giving enough time for that. Now we're pushing the other team off the line a little bit, and we actually see 2 more defensive lobs, and actually the third one gets them in a tough pickle here. No pun intended. Then we got a drive. So why do you think Jackie's driving this one, Kaden?
Yeah, well, based off of
we'll go back here.
Maggie's positioning on that final ball, she knew it wasn't going to be a very strong shot. And so as soon as she saw it come down her way, she knew it was going to be a high bounce.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, maybe I can take advantage of this. And it's something that you're seeing more in women at the pro level is when they're getting attacked, if it's not a good overhead, they can actually put that ball back with some pace, which is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, and the biggest key thing is their positioning, the brushes there. So because those defensive lobs actually push them off the line, you will see them trying to gain an advantage here. And I just got to go over this forehand again because this is textbook, everyone, when we look at Jackie's forehand, but setup, creating space.
Adjustment steps are great.
Yep, look at how her left shoulder's turned, and then that contact nice and out in front. Now this is a higher ball because it's bouncing, but I want to show everyone the finish here. Nice and over her left shoulder. Okay, and then the patience to come back in now. Okay, so here we go, and we got the second offensive lob of the day.
I mean, you just can't expect that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's just really tough. And
Jade is on her back foot. Yoink.
On the back foot. But one thing, obviously, her control is great. But the ladies, the brushes, you can see them toes at the line. I mean, this is a shot that you can utilize in your game. So there's that two-hander. And again, we just talked about how both partners will retreat back, and we're going to see the Kawamotos coming up. Okay, and this was a fairly good play there.
For sure.
And then just a little madness at the end. Okay, in here. What do you see at the end here?
At the end, I would honestly say I actually like the idea to attack based off of the ball that Maggie gets here. Yeah. The only reason why I don't 100% love it. I like it. I don't love it. And the reason why I don't love it is because look at where Mary's at.
Yes.
Right? She's not fully established yet. She's not fully back into the point. She's kind of just recovering. And so as soon as she attacks, she kind of puts Mary in a bad spot for this next ball because, she's thinking, okay, I'm coming forward and now I'm getting attacked.
Yeah, it's really good, Kaden. Really good breakdown there. So so she Mary, right, is the one who hit that drop there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Mary hits this great drop, by the way. When you're deep into the court, very impressive, and forcing that low contact, that's really all we're going for.
For sure.
And at this point, you actually have control again. You have control again. Now Maggie decides to, speed it up, but you're right. We got, Mary still coming up, and that might be, if she maybe chose to
go back 2 seconds.
Drop that. Yeah, sure.
Right.
So we're going to come back here.
Personally, if I'm Maggie right here, look at where Jackie's at. I think I'm rolling this ball kind of cross court with my forehand to kind of get Jackie out of position.
Yeah, maybe like a little topspin dink.
Little topspin mid-court shot.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that's definitely an option. She chose to attack it. And again, we make these decisions, well, you know, and they make their decisions.
These are split decisions, guys.
Split second
Yeah,
decisions.
right.
We're watching this back in slow-mo. So obviously we're getting to see it from the outside in. But yeah, so hopefully you saw the effectiveness of the offensive lob. Now we're going to hop on the court, show you how it's done and how you can make it a threat.
I'm going to lob the crap out of Jordan.
To your opponents.
Let's go.
Let's hop in. All right, here we are on the court. We're gonna go over the offensive lob. This is a shot that more and more players are using, and I think using it at the right select times can be very, very effective. So, Kaden, why don't you show us the lob?
Yeah, let's do this. So for a couple things off the bat, all right? We already know that we need to be balanced. What does balance look like? I need to be in a wider stance. I like to be a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. This allows me stability, which means I'm in control of my body and what I'm doing now, okay? If I'm off balance, it's very hard to execute a shot that is offensive. So if I'm not in this position, I probably should look to dink instead of lob or attack, all right? In this case, we're lobbing, so balance is key. From here, I need to make sure that I have a good contact point as well. So if this ball is maybe a little bit behind me, taking a big adjustment step and giving yourself the space for contact is huge. All right, I do not want to be jammed. I do not want to be hitting a ball behind me or outside of my hips. So making sure I'm setting up properly for the shot is super important as well. Once I'm here, I have to disguise this shot, right? We talked a lot about disguise in, you know, when we were back in the lab, and we were kind of talking about how this lob should also look like a dink. So I don't want to give it away by taking a big backswing or by doing something different than what a dink would look like, all right? Now from here, a couple key important things. I have to get this ball maybe a little bit higher. And of course the goal is to get this over Jordan's head so he is making this ball bounce and I'm pushing him back off of the kitchen line and maybe more towards the transition or the baseline, okay? Jordan's gonna feed me a few balls here. I'm gonna dink two. And then on that third ball, I'm going to look to lob it, all right? I'm going to be trying to take these balls in the air if I can. If I can't, no big deal. I'll take a step back and maybe look for a lob, but I do want my contact point to kind of be more of my yellow zone. So maybe knees to waist, good balls to dink, maybe a ball to attack, definitely a ball to lob. Here we go.
Good. Oh, just out. Here we go again.
Missed it. Maybe take a little bit off it. Here we go.
Good, nice.
There it is.
Yep, so notice how Kaden, too, is obviously he talked about being well balanced, you know, taking balls out of the air. I think this is a really important thing to do because, you know, it puts pressure on me, but also you're in the same position to lob. And last thing I do want to mention, he's not wristy at all, right? So it's coming from the shoulder. We're going to show you a couple more on the forehand, and then we're going to go to his backhand. So here we go, Kaden. Good, nice. Good. Good, nice, okay. And then one more. Good, nice.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so a little bit out. Obviously, Kaden's still working on it, all right? So now we're gonna do the backhand side. But seriously, this does take some time and touch and feel. In the beginning, you might be sailing it out. But you know, as I've developed the shot over the years, one of the things that I used to think is I'm trying to hit a winner and make it bounce and then make it unreturnable. Especially at higher levels, players are fast, but the whole goal, if we could just get them off the line, we're gonna be in the driver's seat of the point. So I really wanna just think high and deep and give a little bit of margin.
Yeah, keep in mind your weather, right? Think about the wind, where the wind is going. Here we go.
Okay, so we're gonna go backhand now.
Yep.
Get it? Here we go. Good, he's leaning in. Good. Good.
Oh yeah.
There you go. So there's that same. If you look at the setup, we can slow-mo it there. His dink volleys look exactly the same, and then his lob looks the same too. Here we go. So he's gonna work on trying to disguise it as much as he can. There we go.
Money.
Oh. Here we go. Again. Good. Way to lean in. Nice. Good.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So obviously, You know, this is a shot that you're not going to be using all the time, but especially when your opponents are, you know, we talked about in another video how players like to lean in and when players like to reach in and their toes are right up at the line. This is definitely a shot that you can add. So go out there with a partner, practice it, and yeah, comment below on how it's going.